Hey, Sasha. Thank you for jumping on today and really timely with end of financial year coming up. First of all, tell us about Sasha. Tell us about Axiom. What's it all about? Yeah, give us a rundown.
Okay. So personally, I'm living in Mount Evelyn with my husband and my gorgeous little puppy, which I had been waiting decades to get.
Oh, it's so cute. When did you get the
Um,
puppy?
he's just over 2 now.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
he's a little Maltese Shih Tzu, black and white fluff ball.
Oh, so
Gorgeous.
cute.
Axiom Advantage is chartered accountants and business advisors. I co-founded with a good friend of mine, Lisa, coincidentally, not you. So we're about helping business owners maximize their profits, streamline their businesses, and we aim towards what we call the 3 freedoms of time, mind, and money. So obviously, by streamlining the business and helping business owners do themselves out of a job, so to speak, so that the business can run without them. That frees up their time, whether it's
Fabulous.
for family, personal pursuits, or even just to grow the business bigger.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mind is relieving the stress. So knowing that their books are kept and everything is compliant and that they know that they've got the funds to do whatever it is that needs to be done in their business. And then obviously, when you've got all of that, you're working towards financial freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you go through as part, I assume there's packages and things involved. Do you go through and chat with clients about what they want to do next? So let's say they want to, I don't know, buy a piece of equipment or something like that. Do you go through and have those conversations with them on a regular basis and see where they're at, what they want to do, and you guys have that conversation?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
So business planning is a big thing. We advise all our business owner clients to do that at least once a year. And then that gets broken down into a 90-day plan.
Yeah.
And then we also look at cash flow reports and discussing what's changed, what's good, what's not so good, what needs to be tweaked. And so we know what their cash flow position is. So then when decisions come along, like a new piece of equipment, it's easy to see that they can afford it or they can't afford it or they might need to get finance to afford it. And we can help them work through the options and work out what's best for them because it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. It's so nice that accountants are changing the way it's being done now. Like you're literally there to hold people's hand. Whereas back in the old days, you'd see the accountant once a year and away you go.
That's it. The ideal would be we're almost like an extra on their board of directors, if you like,
Yeah.
to help with direction, to discuss the different options and be a sounding board when that's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. So I'm going to ask some life admin questions with the end of financial year coming up. Sorry, I'm reading my questions. What are the key things individuals or small business owners should be thinking about now?
So I think the key is to be proactive rather than reactive. So for individuals, it's looking at things like maximizing deductions, review their eligible work-related expenses, charitable donations, income protection insurance premiums. It's also a good time to consider bringing forward any deductible expenses that they were planning anyway, if bring it forward into the current financial year, and just make sure that you've got all the documentation for those. I
Okay.
will stress, however, though, that spending money just for a deduction does not make sense. It should
Yeah.
be on items on you would purchase anyway and can afford to buy. Because remember that for every dollar that you spend, your deduction will be between 16 and 45 cents, depending on your income and marginal tax rate. The other thing I would say is superannuation
I
contributions.
was just about to ask that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So
Cool.
consider if you can afford to making conditional extra concessional deductions. So they're the ones that are tax deductible, particularly if you're close to your cap or you want to boost your retirement savings whilst reducing your income,
Yeah.
taxable income. Non-concessional contributions can also offer a way to get more into super, but they don't have a tax deduction attached to them. But just remember it will be locked away until retirement, so it does need to be money that you don't need now. But if you're young and have minimal financial commitments, this is a great time to boost your super now to get the maximum effect of compounding for growth. And then you can pull back later to just the employer contributions when you've got other financial commitments like a mortgage or family. Also, if you're part of a couple and one is not working, And even now, it's still typically the women that take the greater share of family care.
Yeah.
And these days, that could be caring for aging parents
Yeah.
just as much as raising and caring for children. And if you're doing both, well, that's an amazing commitment. However,
Family
that means that your
generation. There's
super
actually a
stop
name for it.
growing.
Yeah. Yes.
So the average balance for women is 25 to 35% lower than men's at retirement.
Wow.
I think there's two main reasons. One is the gender pay gap. We've
Yeah.
still got that. And the other is the missing years of no contributions.
Yeah.
That does mean that you're missing out on the compounding effects of super growth.
And is there still, are you still finding that it's typically that males will work full time, females will work less? Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Even, I guess, once children are grown and that sort of thing. And there's that as well, I feel.
I think that's part of the reason why we see an increase in female entrepreneurs,
Yes.
because getting back into the workforce and trying to make up for those lost
The income.
years effectively in terms of career growth, it can be hard.
Yeah.
And even now, not all employers are willing to work with women, parents, but it is still mostly women, for school hours and being there for pickups and all that sort of thing. So a lot more women are starting their own businesses to be able to give themselves the flexibility that they need
Yeah.
and still be able to grow an income.
And they need to stay committed to making sure they do their superannuation.
Well, that's right. So
Yeah.
where I was going with that is that
Sorry.
it is possible, if you're part of a couple, that the one who is working can split some of their contributions to the non-working spouse.
Okay, cool.
So that is done like the year after. So if you're making extra contributions, you can still do that. You can still claim the tax deduction. And then the following year, you can split some of your contributions to the non-working spouse.
Wow.
So that
Okay.
helps to redress the balance a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is available up to age 65. It can be done once every financial year and for up to 85% of the concessional contributions. So it's
Okay.
85% because 15% has already been paid in tax.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's employer contributions and member contributions that can be split. So yeah, they can claim the tax deduction first and then split the contribution across. And pretty much all the super funds will have information on how you can do this.
Cool, cool. But I'm guessing we're all busy. You guys can do this, right? This is something you can set up and arrange and
No, we can't actually. It's got to be done with the super fund.
I'd have to be done with the super fund. So you could do it through super fund or financial planner, potentially.
The financial planner can help you to do it through the super fund as well.
Okay.
Thinking about super, it's slightly off topic, but this is something that I came across recently, which I thought was really good. And that is that the government, via the ATO, will pay superannuation on government-funded parental leave pay.
Oh.
So if you care for a child born or adopted from 1 July 2025 and you receive the parental leave pay from Services Australia in the 25-26 financial year and onwards, the ATO will pay super on it. So
amazing.
if that's you, your audience,
it's not me, but yeah.
ensure your details are up to date and matching between the ATO, Services Australia and your super fund. And Services Australia tell the ATO how much parental leave pay you've received for the financial year. And then the ATO will pay a lump sum directly to your super fund, which will be based on the superannuation guarantee rate, which from 1 July is 12%.
Yeah.
And then it'll also include an interest component to make up for the fact that it's only paid after the end of the financial year. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. Go on. I like that. Go on. Cool. Nice little bit of information.
Yeah. So a couple of other things that you can be looking at coming up to end of financial year is looking at capital gains or losses. So if you've sold any assets, understanding your capital gains or losses position and see if there's any opportunities to offset gains with losses. And another one is your private health insurance rebate. So ensuring your details are up to date with your fund and that you're claiming the correct rebate. For small business owners, this is a really important time of year. So if you're a business that has physical stock, doing a stock take and seeing if there's anything that needs to be written off.
Yeah.
Have a look at your asset register. So that's all your plant and equipment and all that sort of thing used in your business. Make sure that there's not things that are still being depreciated that you don't use anymore, that they're obsolete, as they may also be able to be written off.
Because these are things like computers and laptops and printers and not just big equipment stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Also review your debtors and your creditors. Chasing up outstanding debts can be a big boost to cash flow. Then if you're made several attempts and you're absolutely certain you're not going to be able to recover it, then we might be able to write that off as well, and that provides a deduction. You can also look at prepayments. So any expenses that can be prepaid before the 30th of June, so maybe insurance or rent, that can bring forward the deduction. Superannuation guarantee, if you have employees, it's not always going to work out. It depends on your payroll cycle, but it may be that you can pay the superannuation for June before the end of June so that you can get the tax deduction earlier, because otherwise, if you wait until when it's actually due in July, then that will be a next year deduction.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Have a look at the small business concessions, reviewing eligibility for things like the instant asset write-off or simplified depreciation and the small business income tax offset. So the instant asset write-off is available for small businesses up to 10 million in turnover. So it's quite interesting what they call a small
Small
business.
business. Yeah. Yeah. To be a
For
small
assets
business.
up to $20,000 purchased and ready to use in their business before the 30th of June. If the item's purchased for more than $20,000, then you have to use the simplified depreciation rules to work out your depreciation, but it's still quite generous. It's worth looking at that.
Cool.
The small business income tax offset is available for sole traders, or if you have a share of net small business income from a partnership or a trust. So this is your share of the business income coming into your personal tax return. If the business has turnover of less than $5 million and it's a 16% tax offset up to a maximum of $1,000.
Okay.
Payroll review, make sure your STP reporting is accurate and up to date, ready for finalisation, because that needs to be done pretty quickly in July.
Yeah.
And end of financial year is also a good time to look at budgeting and cash flow forecasting for the coming financial year as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So there's a lot that can be done.
Yeah, now to get ready. That's just it. And like that pay as you go, like it comes up so quickly because I use Xero and literally within a day, it's you need to do it like now. And if you're not prepared, yeah, it's going to take a bit of effort, but it's so easy now. I feel like it's so easy to do now, which is great. All right. Should we go on to the next question?
Sure.
Yeah. What are some common mistakes people make at this time of the year and how can we avoid them? We may have covered off some of them potentially, but yeah.
Yeah, the big thing is leaving things to the last minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You also have your clients would be coming in like later in the year.
yes.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your tax return using a tax agent, most people do qualify for extended due dates.
Yeah.
So the ones that we see up until 31st of October are usually individuals who are looking for their tax refund pretty quickly.
Yes. Yes. People that want money
Majority
early.
of our clients will be doing them between March and May
Yeah.
of the following year.
Absolutely. Which makes it would make it so hard. That period between May and like October just must be chaos. Probably March and October, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
At least you don't have a busy time over Christmas. Really?
Yeah, this is true.
If
That's our chance to try and catch up.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. How do they avoid that? It's probably is it too late now?
No, my advice would be to start now. Start collating your documents.
Yeah.
So your receipts and invoices, make sure you don't miss the deadline for things like the super contributions. They should be put in now because it does take time to get processed through the system and it needs to be actually received by the fund
Okay.
by the 30th of June to be able to get that deduction. So my advice is to set aside dedicated time each week, and it doesn't need to be long. Half an hour is fine.
Yeah.
Review bank statements, your digital records for businesses, reconcile your accounts regularly throughout the year, not just at the end of financial year.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of us have to do BAS now anyway, quarterly.
Yeah.
Yeah. While it's a pain, it makes end of financial year that much easier.
Yeah. So if you do your reconciliations and everything properly each quarter as you do your BAS,
Yeah.
and by the year end, there's really minimal extra stuff that needs to be done ready for your accountant to review and make their adjustments.
Yeah.
The other big mistake I see is lack of documentation because it's gotten lost.
Okay.
Claiming deductions without proper evidence is a huge red flag for the ATO. So whether it's a work-related expense or a charitable donation, if you can't prove it, you can't claim it.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I recommend is to implement a system for capturing receipts and invoices as they occur. Digital copies are great for this. Take a photo, email it to yourself, or use an app.
Yeah.
For businesses, ensure all transactions are clearly categorized for the accounting software.
Do you recommend, and I think we've got this as a question. Oh, here we go. Simple tools. What would you recommend? Are there apps you'd recommend? What tools would you recommend? It's literally almost our next question. So yeah, I thought we might as well jump on it while you're saying that. Is there anything you'd recommend people use?
Yeah, so for small businesses, cloud-based accounting apps will have something in there. So we use Xero.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. So Xero has the capability where you can email things across.
Yeah.
So if there's a receipt or invoice attached, and it'll grab that. They also have HubDoc, which is like an add-on app that allows you to take a photo of things through the app, and then that gets put through automatically for you to then just review the details, and it gets sucked into Xero. I believe MYOB and QuickBooks have something similar, but I can't say exactly. I don't use them.
Can I ask a question? If someone comes to you and they're currently using another program, do you help, like you'll ask that they switch across to Xero and you'll help with that process?
Yes, we can definitely help them migrate across. Yep.
Yeah, great.
For individuals, there are some receipt scanning apps out there, but even just using your phone's camera and a dedicated email folder, or using an online document storage app box or Dropbox, something like that, straight to the cloud.
Myself, I even have my personal accounts linked to Xero. There's a whole bunch of reasons why, but it's so I can keep track of my spending, because by doing it through Xero, it's just, and to be honest, the banks do a lot of great stuff now as well around tracking spending. But yeah, I even have my personal account. So even if you're an individual, like you can get quite good value Xero options now if you're not paying people and if you don't have a lot of bank accounts, that sort of thing. So I don't know what you think about that, but even for individuals, I'm almost tempted to say, can I get yourself a $10 a month Xero account or however much it is? That's my.
Yeah, I do have a couple of clients that do that actually. One I can think of at the moment, she's got a couple of rental properties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it does make it much easier to keep track of the rent coming in the expenses and categorize per property, and just makes it quick and easy at tax time because everything's already there, categorized. The receipts are already attached. Everything's there.
Such a good idea, because investment properties are the one thing I feel that it's the end of the year that you've got to pull it all together. Agents are great. There's a lot to pull together at the end of the year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would recommend definitely using a cloud-based storage, because we've all heard the stories of people's computers dying and all their records are on it, or somebody's lost a hard drive, like that famous guy with his Bitcoin on the hard drive that went to the tip. Where if it's in the cloud, you're not going to lose it as easily. You can access it from anywhere, and you can add to it from anywhere as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Separate bank accounts for small businesses. Definitely have a separate bank account for business to personal. From our perspective, really, that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
For individuals, consider having a separate account for savings or investment, separate to like everyday spending. And calendars and reminders are a big thing too. So set up recurring reminders for important financial tasks. So for businesses, this can be your BAS due dates, so that you're not having to do an all-nighter to get done before the due date. Your superannuation payment deadline, same thing. Payroll runs. For individuals, it could be a monthly check-in on their spending or a quarterly review of their investment. So it's important, I think, to not feel overwhelmed by all of this. Just take one step and build momentum from that.
You're literally walking into our next question. So someone who's feeling overwhelmed, I think we've probably been through it, but is there one specific thing that you would say, just do this now to get yourself more in control?
Yeah, I would say gather and organise just your last 3 months of bank statements and credit card statements.
Yeah.
Don't try and reconcile them. Don't try and categorise every transaction, and certainly don't worry about the whole year. Just download them if they're online, print them if that helps you visually, put them in a dedicated folder, either a physical one or online, a digital one. And just the act of simply gathering the documents and having them in one place rather than scattered across emails, online banking portals, paper piles. That helps to create an immediate sense of control.
Yeah.
And it demystifies the unknown, and it makes the next step, like identifying expenses, a little bit less daunting, I think. So it's
Absolutely.
just about taking what seems like an enormous task and breaking it down into manageable chunks.
Yeah, and I agree. My whole life admin brain is now kicking in with what you're saying. I totally agree. And just by doing that step, you're setting yourself up for the next steps. And it's a reminder. It's like having those there is your reminder, I've got to do this. So, yeah, and you've started the process. So, yeah, love it. Good one. Let's go to the last one. Can you share a story or example of a client who made a big shift in their admin or financial organization and the impact that had?
Yeah, it took me a little while to think about this one, but I had a client, I'll call her Sarah. She ran a small online boutique, and when she first came to us, her financial admin was, to put it mildly, a mess.
Yeah.
She was using spreadsheets for sales, kept paper receipts in a shoebox, like the classic,
Yeah.
you always
Yeah.
hear about the shoebox. It does actually happen.
Yes, I've seen it
Um,
myself.
and she only reconciled her bank account sporadically, shall I say.
Yeah.
She was constantly stressed about tax time, unsure whether she'd even made a profit or not, and often missed opportunities for deductions because she just couldn't find the paperwork. And the impact of this was quite significant. It was causing her a lot of stress and anxiety. She dreaded tax time and felt like she was always running behind. There were the missed opportunities of not claiming all of her expenses and deductions, and she didn't have a clear picture of her cash flow. So that made it hard for her to make good business decisions.
Yeah.
And the time drain, she felt like she was spending countless hours at the end of the financial year trying to put everything together. And that was time that could have been spent growing her business.
Absolutely.
So when we started working with her, we started with one key shift, and that was implementing cloud-based accounting software. In this case, it was Xero,
Yeah.
and integrating that with her online store. We also introduced a simple rule, and that was no physical receipts. Every expense was immediately captured using a receipt scanning app that linked to Xero. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but within 6 months,
Yeah.
it made a huge impact. She had real-time clarity. She could see her profit and loss statement anytime.
Yeah.
She understood her cash flow. We did do some financial literacy work with her. And then she was able to make strategic decisions about her inventory and marketing with a lot more confidence. It reduced the
Yeah.
stress for her. Tax time breeze now.
Yeah.
Most of the data is already there. It's already categorized and reconciled. As you were saying before, we're doing the quarterly BASs, so it
Yeah.
gets done quarterly, and that frees her up from the annual panic.
Good on her.
It's saved her a lot of time. She told me the other day that she saved at least 2 full days a week each month now on admin.
Wow.
And so she's able to reinvest that time into product development or marketing or other things that are directly contributing to her business growth instead of being caught up in the admin.
But I feel like it's not even like the 2 days and what she can do with that. It's the mental health around the rest of your time. She doesn't have that stress of, oh, I've got to get to that every time she's doing another task. It's not even there anymore. Like it clears her head all the time.
Yeah, the relief from the anxiety and the stress
Yeah.
is massive.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So do you have, I'm just thinking about her scenario. Do you have bookkeepers? Do you do the bookkeeping side as well as part of your,
No, we don't.
yeah,
So if a client has a bookkeeper, we're quite happy to work with
work
them.
with them? Yeah,
If they don't, can make some recommendations. There's some great local bookkeepers around us here.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would say the biggest shift for Sarah was her mindset. So she went from seeing financial admin as a chore
Yeah.
to viewing it as a powerful tool for understanding and growing her business. And it really empowered her to take control and focus on what she loved doing rather than being bogged down with the paperwork stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that's
so good.
probably one of the success stories I'm most proud of.
Yeah. That's just it. And I know I've actually come across one or two of those where they literally do still have it in the shoebox. I know. And this was a bookkeeper I ended up using in Mount Evelyn. This particular client came to me literally with 2 years worth of receipts. And I'm like, this is not something I can manage. Yeah, that a bookkeeper was brought in immediately.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and just the change, and even payroll, like they'd physically pay people, but they weren't updating it anywhere. 2 years behind is, oh, I can't even think. Yeah, that's just anxiety in itself.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay, is there anything else that we should finish off on? Because there was some really good stuff in there. I really, yeah, got a lot out of that.
Oh, that's good. Excellent. I think the biggest thing is we tend to procrastinate when something overwhelms us.
Yeah,
So I think the big thing is it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
Chunk it down into things that you can do half an hour each day.
absolutely.
And you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make after a month.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one, Sasha. Because this will be going out to the wide world, we are looking for more people to interview, anything life admin. So, just in my opinion, almost any business has life admin stories. We are looking to interview people about life admin. So, yeah, if you know of anyone, please introduce them to us. Yes, and
Be happy to.
love to have them. Yeah, that was really good. Thank you, Sasha.